What does it take to be able to use the experience and the knowledge you have to not do the things you know not to do? That's all I'm asking.
Shit, get a shock collar. Get a shock collar at that point. Put a shock collar around your neck. As soon as you lose a trade, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know that every time you lose a trade or you burn yourself or you tilt, and in the end you lose everything. Write it down. After you see that stop out, start writing it down. Write it down. Yo, what's good? It's your bro Lo, and I'm bringing you guys another saucy trade video. Anyways, man, let's get right into the video. So today was a very, very patient day, very solid day in terms of risk management. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly what I lost today. We took a $54 loss and a $250 loss, well, a little bit less than that, on the TFT account, right, the Forex account. So small loss, $54 loss on the price action account, and a $250 loss on the TF, which is half a loss on the TFT account. Now, how did I do that, right? Well, I was patient the whole day. I'm gonna just walk you guys through what I was looking at for this whole day, right? Exactly what I was looking at. So let's go ahead and start off with dollar. So dollar, right? You could tell, like, okay, I was like, when I was looking at the price section, I was like, you know, it's an hourly range. Yeah, typically whenever it's a very choppy range, based off of my data, I'll take like 6-7 losses in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of avoiding trading inside of this range today, and you could look at NQ. I really avoided NQ, right? Because I wanted to see price kind of like, what did I want to see, guys? If you guys watch my recent videos, I want to see some type of buy side liquidity run and then run lower. This whole time during all of this price action, we ran out Asia, right? I was tape reading this, but I was not confident in taking this shit at all, right? I really didn't want to take this, so I stayed out of this, right? You could look at ES, same thing. ES kind of left relative lows there. You could say that's SMT, right? And I was like, okay, it could get up into there, but like that's not like a very high probable fucking setup. Like, why would I take this? You know what I'm saying? So it just wasn't high probable to me. But I was looking at EU and GU, and GU, yeah, GU's still kind of pushing higher, threading higher, all right? And then EU, when you could look at EU took out Asia low, also a previous daily low, which was right here, right? Also, where we're inside of this this FEG here, and I decided to take a Euro USD buy based off of it taking out that previous daily low and the reaction that I got from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that video. We took out that previous daily low there, and then we had a displacement through this FEG and a change of the state of delivery right here, right after we went through these 3 consecutive down close candles. Also, this last up close candle was like a breaker. Coming into the 1050 to 1110 macro, I was looking for a price to start running above towards those relative equal highs. If you look here, you can see that dollar did displace through the new week opening gap consequent encroachment and used the consequent encroachment of that gap, which was like around here too as well. So I was expecting it to go lower from there, right? As you can see. So that's what I was looking for. That's what I was waiting for to see if displacement can happen there. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, since we're inside of that macro, I want to see if price can start displacing higher and not really come back down and start coming through constant mean threshold of this order block, right? Because it's not really probable if it has to come all the way back down there during this time, right? As well, we also marked out let me show you. So you can see marked out the volume imbalance, and I was paying attention to constant encroachment of that wick, right? So you can see how we traded right back into that, right? So that's what I was looking for. You also have these two down close candles, right? There go consequent encroachment at wick, two down close candles, just waiting for price to move up. I moved my stop right above this inversion FVG and right above here, thinking this was going to be a breakaway gap, because if it had to come all the way back down here, it's not very high probable to see this daily candle start expanding to midnight open price, which had low resistance liquidity. Like you can see it right here, like smooth edges, low resistance liquidity. You know, I was thinking they could at least get up there. Started trending back against me, right? Coming back into that inversion fair value gap. I was fine with holding my stop right here, right? And taking that half of a loss, right? Because when, like, we think of terms of probability, and if the probability is a lot lower in my favor, you know what I'm saying, that's when you have to manage the risk. Like, at first, I was thinking, like, I was going to hold it down here and wait for a close through here and then get out as it, you know, starts retracing back into this inversion FEG. But, you know, I was like, well, I was giving it this macro. We're getting close to 12 o'clock. It's really not going to move. It's EU. Like, what can I tell you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to really move like what I was thinking. So I was giving it this chance here, this 11 o'clock, to see how far, if we could start running up higher. I didn't really displace through. Like, I wanted to see through this breaker and hold this breaker range. I was giving it this last chance here. Right, just letting it play out. My emotions were straight. Good, is back to where it should be. You know what I'm saying? This whole ever since last week. You know what I'm saying? But this week, I'm really being patient. Right, want to take smaller losses. Right, when it's low probable, and we got, at the same time, we got the Powell news tomorrow. So I wasn't really expecting this to be that high probable. So yeah, you can see we got stopped out. So going back to that price section, right? We took out the previous daily low. And then we could not expand through this range right here. This range right here. It couldn't really get back through this range, and it couldn't use this daily volume imbalance that I was looking for it to use. It didn't want to do it. So it was just deemed low probable at that point. I was looking for it to expand. It didn't do it. But yeah, we take smaller losses. We don't let the ego get to the, like, oh wow, I took a fucking loss, wow, whoop-de fucking motherfucking do. Yeah, no, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. So yeah, I controlled my loss, took a way smaller loss than I wanted. You know, I think I performed the way I wanted today. I was very patient on waiting for a setup. This was the only setup that kind of looked like it could deliver something, but yeah, it just didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And what can I tell you? It just didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing more to this video. Just me controlling risk, me controlling, you know what I'm saying? Taking a smaller loss. Like, I would have took a full loss right here if I didn't just leave my stop there. You know what I'm saying? But even here, I could have got out early here if I was to accept the close of the candle and let the wicks do the damage. But at the same time, I didn't want to give the wicks room to do damage at all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's not that high probable. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, really that's it. Let's do some reaction videos. Let's see if anybody posted today. Let's see. Alright, let's do it.
How we doing today, man? I'm super. Oh man, I can't curse on this account because of YouTube guidelines. But I'm so frustrated with myself today.
No, Diego, don't tell me. Don't tell me, bruh.
Just sat on the charts too long.
Nah.
And then got caught up. One mistake to another. Right, doing good all day, being patient. And there was just a lot of frustration throughout the day of just missing setups and just everything, right? And then we ended up seeing just a horrible setup. I should have been off the charts at 11. I said I was going to be off the charts by 11. But I see us take out this low here that doesn't really even matter. And then I saw us get a 2-minute inversion right here, and I got in long. I got in long right here. We instantly got stopped out. Pretty instantly got stopped out. And that was the first loss. And then I instantly reversed position into a short right here, where we actually wouldn't have lost again if I was going to go break even this low. We actually would have gotten there, but as soon as I got filled like here, and it came up against me,
down,
and I closed it for another loss, and then I just kept trading, and we lost. The
Wait, so did you lose the account?
balance, we basically lost the account. We
Ah.
have $123, so I'm just full porting with two contracts.
I mean, you got 123 left. You could bring that shit back, Diego. I ain't gonna lie. You could bring that shit back. Yeah, you need a miracle. I ain't gonna lie.
And I'm literally just gonna full port with two contracts, this account, and either get my balance back to zero, or
Wait.
or blow the account.
Are you gonna do it here? He might do it in this video. Hold on, let's see.
Disappointing. I don't even want to make this video. I don't
Or
even
no?
want to. I don't want to be honest about it, right? Or not honest. I don't want to make the video. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with comments. I don't want to deal with even the Discord, right? Even the free Discord. I don't feel like explaining myself, because I don't have to explain myself, man. Or I don't need to explain myself to other people, right? I know right from wrong, right? I'm too old to be doing this, right? I've been in the game for too long to be doing this, right, to myself. It's that simple. It's not an experience thing. It's a disrespect thing. I'm not taking it serious enough. And again, we just sat on the charts too long. We stayed here too long. Price action wasn't good. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to see that this
Shit was straight dookie cheeks. Dookie cheek ass price action.
wasn't good price action. And I knew that, and I knew that, and I knew that, and I knew that. I want to hammer it in my head a million. Oh my gosh, dude, I wish that YouTube guidelines weren't so soft, because I would just be ripping in right now. But I know better than this, but I choose to do it. Why? Because I clearly don't care. I clearly don't care. I clearly am not in control of my emotions. I'm clearly not. Again, it doesn't take a genius to see that this is not good price action. We didn't trade through here. Why? We came into the day bullish, right? And I wish I could talk about the chart today, because, I mean, I can talk about the chart, but I wish I didn't have such a bad day so I could go over, you know, what we saw on the chart, right? Pre-market, we swept out Asia or London low, and we had this perfect 15-minute inversion. I should have just taken this and called it a day, right? Why am I so much more nervous to take a trade like this? Right? Why can't I take a trade like this? Or like this, right? And why am I looking for these trashy setups, right? This was the trade. This was the low resistance liquidity. This is the model, right? But I don't take that. Cool. Price delivered perfectly. I was bullish coming to the morning, but we just ripped straight up. Cool. Couldn't do anything. What do we wait for, right? We had this sweep on the high over here, and then we had a resweep. We got an inversion with a change of state delivery. Why did I not take this? Because I was looking for longs. I wanted to see previous day high. This is a great setup, right? A great trade. Again, should have taken this one, but I didn't. So cool, that's fine, right? Sometimes you don't.
I mean, not even should have. Like, you should have, would have, could have. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you were bullish, you know what I mean. Whatever you were seeing, that's what you seen at that time. Like, but like that sell right there, it should have, would have, could have at that, like with that sell.
Trade and it starts weighing on me, man. I started getting really frustrated
because that shit could have went higher. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it could have kept digging up higher.
Because it was just all my bullish targets were taken, and then I saw a short, and I was gonna take it, but what I tell myself, oh, I'm bullish biased, so why would I take a short? And we would have taken a short, and we would have hit an amazing trade. We would have hit amazing trade, right?
Yeah. See, like, he had a bullish bias, but like, you know, he's starting to think like I could have or should have took this, but like, really, no, you shouldn't have took that. It's just you waited on your buy, right? If the buy setup wasn't there, then you just don't trade. Yeah, you just it's the discipline to be able to miss this, to allow this to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you're waiting for your bus here. You're waiting for the bus to come here. You know what I'm saying? Something to happen here.
Just amazing trade. However we were taking, change state delivery inversion after only moving up today. I mean, perfect trade. I didn't take it because I was trying to follow my rules. I wanted to see this 15-minute gap.
Exactly. That's how you should have.
I wanted to come into this 15-minute gap to continue higher. That's what my plan was, right? That was my plan from the start of the day. So when I didn't see that, when I saw this setup, I was like, cool, if I'm trying to go long, I'm not going to take it. So then I don't take it. We get this massive sell-off, and this time I'm still bullish. I'm like, cool, bullish, right? I still like this. I want to see this 5-minute inverse right here. And this would have been perfect. I was going to get him with 1 micro, target 100 points, risk 100 points, $200 risk, right? Cool. We never close above. Fine, right? We would have had this order block, an inversion, and it doesn't close above. Luckily, it doesn't close above because we get this random 100-point candle just out of nowhere.
Okay, so boom, right? This was your first. This was part of your process. You're waiting for the candle to expand through here, right? So whenever you got this price action here, and this happened here, you want to drag this out to the right, and you still want this to be in your process, right? Since this was a validation point for you, this going through here wasn't or it really wasn't enough. Or like if it was like a 2-minute FEG, I think that's what you seen, Diego. That wasn't enough. Like, you should have just waited for this to happen, right? And if you would have, if you did have that as your plan at first, and you just impulsively took this, you know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? But this was your first validation point. That was like your measuring, like your measure, what's the word? It's like your validation point. You know what I'm saying? If it get above there, then you're bullish. You want to take the trade. You're interested in the buy. So if price is not going through there and it's going lower, you still want to wait for that or until it takes out that low or invalidates this low again, and then maybe gives that change in the state of delivery or whatever.
And that would stop me out, so we don't get it. So we wait, and then I was like, okay, cool. If we get it right after this,
because you're really trading inside the mean threshold, the equilibrium of this range. You're taking a buy when you want to be outside of that range. You know, if this is all balanced right here, you want to see that get above this balanced price range, and it should hold that to go higher, right?
But we never close above on the 5 minute. We close above here, but not on the 5 minute, and we never inverse this gap right here, and that was what I was looking for. And, and we never got it, so I should have had no trades, right?
Yeah. See, he knows. He knows. You just sometimes you just do stupid shit because mental. You know what I mean? Like Diego, he can have good trade management. I seen it live. I seen him do it through his Discord. You know what I'm saying? Where it was no money involved. He can have good trade management and pick his setups wisely. It's just when money's involved for him, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's, what can I tell you? You know what I'm saying?
No trades. And after this point, right, we should have stepped away because this is taking too long, right? This is just experience, just chart experience. I know better. It's like I'm sitting here knowing I'm making a mistake before I even make it. I knew that I was going to make a mistake by placing a trade. But then what happens? I'm sitting here, and instead of just turning my, oh my gosh, dude, I wish, it's frustrating not being able to just speak freely and trying not to control what I'm saying, which is fine, right? I probably shouldn't talk certain ways anyways, but instead of just turning my computer off and saying, look, I'll come back another day, because there's so many setups. There's a setup tomorrow, there's setups today, there's so many setups. Why am I taking the trash ones? Why am I taking the ones that don't matter? Why am I taking the ones that aren't good? But I still sit here at 11:30. I should be off the charts by no later than 11:10 at latest. 11 o'clock. If there's nothing before 11 o'clock, I should be done. I know I should be done. Right? I know I should be done. And what happens? I start seeing an impulsive move, and I see a fair value gap, and it didn't close, but I was like, well, do we have anything? Oh, we closed on the 2 minute. Let me just get in there. Let me just do that one. Right? And it didn't work because it's not a good setup. Because we're not delivering well, because we're in consolidation.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Because we didn't inverse the 1 minute gap right there.
Straight dookie cheeks ass price action. Like,
it's just simple stuff, and it's like, I know better. That's what's so frustrating, is I know better. It's disappointing. I talk about the same stuff every day. I have all the right things I say, but I don't follow through with it. It's not good enough whatsoever. It's not good enough. So we're gonna lose our first Express account. That's cool, right?
Hey, it ain't over to the fact. Listen, Diego, listen to me. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over until the fat lady singing, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You better keep. You know what I'm saying? You better keep. Bro, you got $125, $110, $12 left. That's one micro that you could put in on the ES. You know what I'm saying? Aim for 250. Aim for, you know what I'm saying? Like type shit. I'm telling you. It ain't over to the fat lady scene.
Right, but it's not about this one. It's about what am I going to do for the next time? What am I going to do tomorrow? Right? And that's the frustrating part, because now I have to wait till tomorrow. I could have had a good day today, but I decided not to. I decided to not have a good day. Why? Because I'm sitting here, and what happens when you sit here too long? You start to break your rules. You start to say, hey, I sat here for 2 hours. This could make me some money. And I said, you know what, I'm going to get in here, because if I get like, if it just comes above this high, basically, I will just get like $200 a day, right? Wrong.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking I'll get in with 2 micros right here, 50-point stop, and I'll target 50 points, right? And look, and if we just wait to watch, this setup's gonna smack. I bet you this setup smacks right here. This inversion, right on the 1 minute. We're gonna do it live, right? Get me most stop. I already
wrecked myself. Oh, you took a lot.
I hope it works because this is what I should have waited for. Right?
No, if this shit work, I crash the fuck out too. I ain't gonna lie, Diego. I crash the fuck out.
Displacement, order block, retain state delivery.
No, if this shit work for real.
Right? Everything I need to get. Right? And then we finally get the inversion. We finally invert this big gap right here. We wait for the fully close. We don't just get in because of a big move up.
Let's see if it works.
If I was gonna and
skip through it a little bit. Damn, this shit loaded like damn. What's wrong with my McDonald Dookie ass internet? What's going on?
Me showing up and disrespecting my rules, disrespecting myself, disrespecting the people that watch my videos, disrespecting the process.
Bro, it's all to learn, bro. You learn it, bro.
I would love to not make this video today. I would love to not make this video.
Bro, it's you gonna learn, bro. I'm telling you. It's just gonna take time. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep, like I said, every day, you keep grinding towards being disciplined. Like, even if it's one day, you know what I'm saying? At least you're working towards that. You know what I'm saying? So don't beat yourself up too hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? We all been there, bro. I've been there. I still be there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But just don't beat yourself up, bro.
I would love to have taken a winning trade today. I would love to not trade it. But at the end of the day, right, there's no reason. I'm really frustrated right now. I'm making this video right after of all the BS I did. I'm really frustrated. I'm really disappointed, frustrated, annoyed, mad. I'm not once thinking to quit. I'm not once thinking that my strategy doesn't work. I'm not once thinking anything like that. I'm just looking at myself and saying I gotta do better. I gotta be better.
Yeah.
Because it's not good enough. What I just did is not good enough. Right? So yeah, I feel frustrated, I feel angry, all this stuff. But in 30 minutes, an hour from now, 2 hours from now, I'm going to just
you're gonna be straight to it. Yeah.
And remember, I just show up again and try again and try again and try again. That's what it takes.
At least you got another Express account waiting for you. And hopefully like bro Diego, like he can follow his plan, follow his process, you know what I'm saying, and not get in his head too much, you know what I'm saying, and be a little patient, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just patience, man. Patience really pays, man. It really pays. Like, even though I was patient today and I took a loss, at least I cut my risk, you know, at least I cut it small, you know what I'm saying. But like, I could have went that this day without trading. But you know, it looked like it was there, it looked like a setup was there, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't play out. You know what I mean? But yeah, but in terms of patience, I stayed the fuck out of Nasdaq and S&P. You know what I'm saying? I stayed out Monday too. You know what I mean? But patience really pays. 2 to 3 good setups a week is really all you need. People think they need to trade every day. Like, you really don't need to trade every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I get stuck into trading every day, but me having that freaking sweet, that much of how many trades I take, if I take a trade every day, that's a high frequency of trades for me. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like, I know during those weeks when I'm taking a trade every day, it's kind of a little, you know what I'm saying? There's weeks that I've done way better with only taking like 2 to 3 good setups a week. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't have to trade every day. So if you could practice patience on just waiting for 2 to 3 good setups a week, it'll help you build a little bit more discipline.
That's what it takes, right? Obviously, you don't want to make mistakes. Obviously, you don't want to keep failing. You don't want to do the things that you're not supposed to do, right? You're not supposed to do those things. You know that, right? But that's not the point. You don't need to just dwell on all the negative, right? You're going to be frustrated. I'm frustrated right now because it just happened. I just let myself down. Of course I'm going to be upset, right? Of course I'm going to be upset. But I did it to myself. Look, and again, I'm glad that this trade's not working because again, it shows. Look at this price action. Look at this price action. Should I be trading this? Should I be trading this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I know it. That's the part that frustrates me, is that I know it. I know it, right? Like, And it doesn't matter if you don't believe me or if you think that I don't know anything that I'm doing. Like, I promise
believe you.
It doesn't matter what you think.
I believe you, gang. I believe you.
I know what I know, right? I know what I know. Just like you know what you know, right? I'm not saying I'm the best trader. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I always find the best traders. I'm just saying I could even perform 10 times better than where I'm performing now with just doing the things I know to do, right? Maybe I still wouldn't be the best or whatever, but I would still be doing better.
But you would be better than how you're trading right now. You know what I'm saying?
I would be taking better losses. I would be taking better winners. I would be trading better if I just did the things I knew to do, right? If I just stopped doing all the stupid stuff I do. And I don't know how to move past this. I don't know how to move past the frustration, right? Because it's not going to do me any good tomorrow to wake up and be frustrated and be upset. But what am I supposed to do, right? Basically, this is the one thing I want to ask. How do you guys deal with breaking your rules? Don't tell me like, oh, just punish yourself. I'm saying, how do you deal with the mental drain of disappointing yourself like this? Like, it's
okay. How do I deal with it? Okay, there's times where, like, you know, I break my rules, and I break my rules to the point to where it's like, okay, like, you could break your rules, but sometimes we go OD, like, we go over OD on breaking our rules. Whenever I go OD on breaking my rules, and I have a bad day, I sleep on that shit. I sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? Or I go play basketball, but like I'll sleep on it. You know what I mean? It hurts now. It hurts now. You know what I'm saying? But that pain will just go away. Like, that's just how you do it. Like, you can't just like completely like just like, oh, I broke my rules and I went OD and I almost went on tilt and shit, or I went on tilt and I lost my whole account. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. At that point, I'm crying. What can I, bro? Diego, I'm crying, bro. Like, when I'm like in tears, like on the ground, like on my knees, like this, bro, like crying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I break my rules to that point, to where I tilted the count away or I lost a big amount of money. But then after I cry, I feel a little better, right? And I also sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? Turn on some motivational. Turn on some trading podcasts, and I'll go right to sleep. You know what I mean? But it's just best to try to stay away from getting to that point to where you're tilting the whole account away. Like, say if I break a rule, right, and I make a mistake, like say how like you lost this trade right here, right? It didn't go through the gap or whatever. You have to stop right there. Like, if you make the mistake, as soon as you make that mistake, you can't continue trading. You have to like nip it in the bud real quick. Like, I'm talking about, like, let's say you didn't do it today, right? Yeah, of course it's hard to fucking do it. Like it's hard to do it, bro. But like, it's like you just have to practice doing it at least 1 time, 2 times. Like, when you do this, when you make this mistake, right, you have to like not be in the mindset of I have to fix it. You have to be aware that you just made a mistake. Soon as you make a mistake, be aware of it. Get up off the chart. I know it's hard, bro. Like, everybody will say this shit, bro, but you literally have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to do. Like, if you make a mistake, you have to stop. You have to stop. And then once you are able to stop, even if it's that one day you did it, that's great, because it's going towards your progress. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's going towards your progress. So like, if you're able to stop that one time, you keep building that discipline. You build it, and then the next day it's gonna be easier because you did it that one time. It's gonna be easier to do it the next time. You know what I'm saying? And then let's say on that 3rd day, right, you broke a rule and you tried to do it back. at least you practice. At least you practice that discipline for 2 days. That's 2 days towards your growth. You get what I'm saying? So you just have to stay. You have to tell yourself, if I break a rule, if I mess up, if I stop, right, and I don't try to fix it, there's no you can't fight this shit back. We all know this, right? But you have to just do it. As long as you tell yourself, I don't have to fix it, right? It's just a mistake. You can always make all of this shit back. It's gonna be high probable conditions where you can make the shit back, right? So as long as you put it in your mind, like, I don't have to fix this mistake right now. I made a mistake. Let me stop. You gotta tell yourself, I need to stop. As soon as you feel that, get off the chart. Turn on the YouTube video. Go to sleep. Shit, beat your meat and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Do something away from the chart at that point. Don't even look at the chart no more. Don't even record a video yet. Just get up and go get a glass of water. You know what I'm saying? Go get some sunshine. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, you just got to do it. But in terms of like getting over that feeling, you're not just gonna it's like a breakup. You know, you're not gonna get over the feeling like this. But you have to, if you do things like work out, go do something towards yourself, it's a lot easier to, and you should already know this, it's a lot easier to get over shit. But sometimes you could just sleep on the shit too, and you'll wake up and you'll feel a little bit better, you know. But
it's hard to sit here and disrespect myself like this, and I'm not talking about how am I gonna not ever break my rules again. I'm talking about how do I just, not that I should accept it, but how do I decide, how do I not let it affect me, right? Not that it shouldn't, right? I should be upset, but how can I use it to better myself, right? How can I use it to change the narrative? Because if I keep doing the same thing, like what do I do, right? What do I do to get to the point where I can step away? Because I can know to step away all I want. I was sitting here telling people I should step away. I should be done for the day. I'm not going to do this if this doesn't happen. And it didn't happen. I still did stuff, right? How can I take the knowledge I have and actually use it to benefit me? I know.
You just have to do it. You one step. It's either you do it or you don't do it and you keep hurting yourself. But over time, the more you hurt yourself, the more you start to get it. The more you are able to at least do it that one time or 2 times and 3 times before you do it again. And then it gets to a point to where you're always able to where it's a lot easier to do it. You know? But yeah, I get what we all get I get what he's saying. We all like, we know what to do, we just can't do it. But it's the same. It's the same with any type of like thing that we do, or any type of like work ethic or anything that consistency, right? So you just have to do it. You just find something that you can do. Like, just turn off the chart. And some people, yeah, they see it as hard to do that because as soon as they take the loss, they wanna hop back in. But the difference on how you are able to do it is because we're not aware of it at that time, right? Like, while we're trading, you're just not aware of it at that time that you wanna tilt, that you wanna take another trade and fight back. We're not aware of it at that time. We're really not. You think you are, but you're really not. You're not aware that you are about to do that shit. You just do it. You act upon it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be aware, like, okay, I feel like this right now because I lost the trade. As soon as you lose a trade, you know when it starts to trigger. So you want to avoid that trigger. Okay? As soon as you lose the trade or as soon as you break a rule, you have to remind yourself right then and there that, okay, I just broke a rule. This is where I usually tilt. Write it down and put on a board, like dead ass, like right in front of your screen. Every time I break my rule, I tilt. And every time I tilt, I lose my everything. I lose everything. Every time. Write it down. In the end, I lose everything. Write it down. So every time you lose a trade, look at that. Look at it. and be like, every as soon as you lose the trade, read it. Literally read. Force yourself to read it. Every time I lose a trade, or every time I break my rule, I go on tilt. And every time I tilt, in the end, I lose everything. Everything that you worked for, you burn yourself. You have to put it there. And then it's like a reminder that, okay, that happens to me. So then it'll probably be easier to just stop right then and there. Log out of all of your accounts right then and there. You know? But yeah.
Know to step away. I know not to take the trades I took today. I know to not do the things I did today. If I know to not do the things I did today, how can I use the knowledge I have and just do it? I knew to step away and not take a trade today, but I still did it. Why?
Remind yourself that you burn yourself every single fucking time. I'm telling you, you have to remind yourself. In the end, you burn yourself. You lose everything. You lose all your accounts. It's not gonna move. It goes nowhere towards your progression. And even if the shit works out, you're still feeding a bad habit.
What made me do that? It's not a knowledge thing. It's not an experience thing. I knew that the conditions after this point, this chop right here, I knew that this was no longer in my favor. I knew to step away. I had the experience to step away. So what is it? What does it take to be able to use the experience and the knowledge you have to not do the things you know not to do? That's all I'm asking. That's
Shit, get a shock collar. Get a shock collar at that point. Put a shock collar around your neck as soon as you lose a trade. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know? Hey man, I'm gonna get a shock collar. I'm gonna show y'all how to do it. Look, this is gonna be the fastest way you learn. You know what I'm saying? You gotta train yourself like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Just put a straight shock collar on your neck. Every time you lose a trade, every time you break a rule.
That's all I want advice on right now is why or how do I use the knowledge I've gained through experience? How do I implement the things that I don't want to do? Because I clearly don't like to not trade. I clearly, right? And you can tell me what, but like I'm serious. What is the trick? Because it's not knowledge. It's not those things. It's not about learning when to step away. I knew when to step away. So if someone says you got to know when to step away, what do you do when you know you're supposed to step away and you don't do it? Right? I could have clicked the lockout.
Remind yourself that you burn yourself. That is just nothing but pain. Write it. I'm telling you, Diego, write it. Listen, Diego, bruh. Listen to me. Every time you lose a trade, write it down. Write down on a board that you lost. Actually, before you even, every time you lose a trade, write it down. Type it out. Type it out or some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're not just gonna write it down and keep it on your wall, write it down. Write it 3 times down. That every time you lose a trade or you burn yourself or you tilt and in the end you lose everything. Write it down. Try it. Try to be disciplined before you even look. After you lose a trade, after you break a rule, right? Before you even look at the market again, after you see that stop out, start writing it down. Write it down. Listen, I'm telling you. Try it, bro.
Button. I could have stepped away, but I didn't do it. That's the scary part. That's the bad part. That's the part I'm trying to understand. That's the part I'm trying to understand. Is where is it going wrong?
Yeah, man.
Where is it going wrong?
We gonna end it right there. Let's see how that trade played out. See if it played out. We'll get the end of this video.
It's not even seeing. It's knowing that other people are just crushing everything every day, thousands of dollars, and it's not me. And that's I think that's part of my problem too. It's just wanting to be great without to be great, you just have to be great. You don't want, you don't expect, you don't whatever hope. You just be great, and great things.
It's the process, man. You just gotta focus on your process. You know what I mean? Nobody else. You already know this. Nobody else's process. We all know this. You gotta focus on your process. You know what I'm saying? Focus on your whatever problems you have. You gotta focus in on that. So if you know your problem is that you overtrade or you over leverage, just like I used to overtrade. I still overtrade sometimes. So whenever I get into that mode, I have to force myself to take only focus on 2 to 3 setups a day. A week, not a day. I blow my shit. If it was a day, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, one I had to go from stop taking 1 trade a day to taking. Not 1 trade a day. Taking 2 trades a day to taking 1 trade a day. Whenever I get ahead of myself. Now that I'm kind of like, I'm able to be more disciplined. Yeah, sometimes I'll take 1 to 2 trades a day because I know when to stop. But when you don't know when to stop, you have to force yourself to take 1 a day and practice that discipline first. You know? And then if you break a rule, right, you have to practice just at least that one time, just stepping away. You have to literally force yourself. You have to, and it starts from reminding. But how I started to do it was reminding myself after when I lose, because it's like a shot collar. It's literally like a shot collar. Every time I lost or tilted an account, I remember that pain. It gets to a point, bro. It gets to a point where you don't want to keep experiencing that pain, that same pain. It gets to a point. So what I had to do was I had to remind myself that every time I start to overtrade, every time I start to tilt, right? Even when I overtrade, it gets to a point to where it's like, oh, that's it. Even if I lose this, I'm done. When I overtrade, when I know that I went, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll cut the trade and be like, no, fuck it. I'm gonna just get out whenever I force that trade, because I remind myself that when I do this, I burn myself in the end. Even if it works out now, in the end, I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna burn myself. So yeah, man, that's it, man. If you got that, I'm gonna just end it there, man. I wish the best. Yeah, he's gonna figure it out. We eventually, as long as we don't give up, we figure it out. And as long as we focus in on what we're doing, and we at least try to, you know what I mean, be disciplined. Just try, you know what I mean. Try to implement something that'll help you be more disciplined. You'll eventually get it. You'll eventually get better at being disciplined, you know. So if you guys enjoyed that video, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and sub to the channel if you're new to the motherfucking channel, you know what I'm saying. And I'll see you guys in the actually comment, like and comment, man. Give me yeah.
Says you gonna call?
Yes. Yeah, I'm about to call.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
said I'll call.
Anyways, I'm about to go ahead and end it right here. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, go ahead and sub to the motherfucking channel. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see you. Comment too. You know what I'm saying? Comment what trades y'all took today. If you guys sat on your hands, comment that. Go and comment on some emojis. You know what I'm saying? Comment something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.